Okay, friends, I've done it. I have finally chosen a tiny house builder. Actually, technically, I've kind of chosen two. It's a bit of a story, so we're going to go through it. I have a really big lesson here I want to share with you as well regarding how to choose the right tiny house builder, and I guarantee it is not what you think. Let's get into it. So, it has been a hectic, to say the least, couple of months. The Tiny House Awards were at the end of August and was an absolutely amazing night. The Queensland, the Cleveland in Brisbane Tiny Homes Expo was at the end of September, which was jam packed as it always is, the biggest one in Australia. And then because the end of the year is so hectic, the Adelaide Tiny Home Expo, the very first ever Adelaide one, was in November last weekend as well. Oh, in addition to that, my parents have actually just accepted an offer on a 3-bedroom townhouse in the retirement village of their dreams down here on the coast. And a 3-bedroom, which is, while it's amazing for them, also means that they will have a spare room for me, which means that I will have somewhere to live while my tiny house is being built. So this is actually all happening. So at the end of the day, I've been thinking about this for quite a few months, and I finally rested on a builder I was really happy and comfortable working with. They, to me, represent everything that's luxurious about tiny houses. So on one hand, it was a real no-brainer. I also love their sales lady. I consider her a friend of mine. She's fantastic. She's my kind of people, right? So that really got me over the line with them. It took me quite a while to come to that decision, but I was really comfortable once I actually decided to go down that route. We had our first meeting, online Zoom meeting, and everything went relatively well. We walked through what I wanted for my house, a rough kind of floor plan, and sort of figured out where we were going to go moving forward. Having said that, something didn't sit quite right with me, and it's really hard to put my finger on. It's not as though there was something particularly wrong. They didn't do anything wrong or anything like that. I just suddenly I wasn't 100% convinced. And then at the Adelaide Expo recently, I overheard something that I just didn't sit well with me. One little thing might not seem like much, but in an industry where there is now so much choice and so much competition, there are over 300 tiny house builders in Australia. And I wanted to go with one I was 100% confident in and happy with, that I would be comfortable talking about for some time to come and wouldn't have any qualms, concerns, or anything moving forward. The other big reason I guess I wasn't comfortable moving forward with these guys as well was, even though they do beautiful, high quality, luxurious builds, they're lovely people, but they're not my people. And I hope that makes sense. Sometimes there are people in your life that you get along with, they're great people, they're nice, they're kind, all the good things, but it just doesn't sort of click. Like, it doesn't seem like a really natural conversation. Not that things are forced, but it just doesn't flow and doesn't come easily. Whereas there are other people that you just click with and connect with right away. Things flow. You could talk to for hours. You just have a lot in common and it comes very naturally. That wasn't the case with these guys. So I made a really difficult decision, and I sent an email to this builder letting them know that I wasn't proceeding with the build with them. It was probably one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever done, because especially given that I work in the industry, I don't want to get anyone offside and upset anyone, or do the wrong thing or anything like that. So it was a really difficult communication to have, but absolutely essential to be transparent and open and honest, and not, lead them down the garden path if I wasn't moving forward and that sort of thing. So I let them know I wasn't going ahead with them. The best news is, though, since the expo, I have had another conversation with this newer builder, and I have made the decision, and I've let them know that I'm going ahead with my build with them. I am beside myself and I'm so happy. And even from that one meeting, it is so obvious that I've made the right decision. And I'm kicking myself now for not choosing them to begin with. They are an incredible builder. They have an excellent customer service reputation, like all their reviews online. Normally, once you get a tiny house delivered, you're so head over heels in love with your new life that you really drop everything. Like, you just want to reintegrate into enjoying your tiny house, moving forward, and you forget about everything else. And very few people then go back and then rank and review their builders once they've moved in, because they're so in love with their build. This company have amazing reviews from people who've actually built and gone through the process with them. So without further ado, I wanted to let you know that the tiny house builder I have finally settled on to build my Third, my next tiny house build for me to live in is LJM Tiny Homes on the Sunshine Coast. I am beyond excited and I'm kicking myself for not choosing them to begin with. We've had a couple of meetings now and everything just flows so well. After the first one, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that I was going to move forward with them. What I really want to share with you though is the reason I didn't go with LJM to start with. I made a big mistake and I focused on looking for a builder who could build the type of house that I envisioned that I had in my head. I saw that from the builder that I initially chose. I didn't see that from LJM though, because most of the builds that I've seen, while I know that they do great quality work and beautiful builds, and I've set foot in many of them myself, I'd never seen one with a single level ground floor bedroom on the longer side to what I'm going to need, that had a really luxurious feel and finish that made me go, yes, that's the house I want. So I hadn't seen the kind of build that I envisaged for myself from that builder before. So the big lesson that I want to share with you is not to choose your builder based on the model of house alone. There is so much more to choosing a builder than just choosing the house. It's not about the house. It's really not. It is so important to be able to have honest conversations, that you are comfortable talking to your builder about difficult conversations when it comes to changing your mind about design or whatever the issue is. You need to be comfortable knowing that you can raise these issues and that they'll be well received, and that you have that really good two-way rapport, that you can have uncomfortable conversations. That means more than anything. So if there's a builder that you're thinking of going with, but you haven't necessarily seen from them the kind of house that you've got in mind for yourself, go talk to them. If there's a builder that you have met that you got along great with, maybe at an expo or something else, or you've seen online and you click with, you feel like you get each other and that you would be on the same wavelength, trust me, go with them straight off. Save yourself a heap of heartache. Go with the one that you connect with, and 9 times out of 10 they'll do custom builds, or they'll be able to adapt something to your exact needs. And that is exactly the case with me and LJM. They hadn't built something like this before, but after the initial conversation, it's very obvious that they are totally up for design challenges and love to try new, different, exciting things, which is what we're going to be doing on my build. I am really excited to work with LJM for so many reasons, not the least of which is they won the Builder of the Year award in the 2023 Tiny House Industry Awards, which is the big gong, Builder of the Year, as the epitome of everything that's good about the tiny house industry, that exceeded standards on all levels through the review process. I really wanted to see whether I would have the same experience with them that other customers have. Their reviews are all glowingly positive and amazing, which just really made them a standout to a lot of other builders. So I kind of want to see whether they not live up to the hype, but I wanted to see whether everyone else's experience would be similar to mine. And from my first conversation or two with them already, I can tell that this is going to be an amazing process. I'm excited. They treat all their customers like rock stars, and I'm excited to see what we come up with.